There's no denying that our world has made progress when it comes to the fight for women's equality. Women can vote. Many women go on to be engineers, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, or truly to work in any field they want to. As we know, it wasn't always this way, so we thought that in honor of Women's History Month and women everywhere, we would investigate how we got to where we are today. We want to highlight figures you know and ones that you probably have never heard of. Buckle up because we're going on a journey. Here's our timeline of women's rights. After petitioning for women's suffrage for over 50 years, women officially earned the right to vote with the 19th Amendment, which passed in Congress in 1919 and was ratified in 1920. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this fight and the historical figures who were involved. Susan B. Anthony, who once voted illegally and rebelliously joined a movement for women to start wearing pants, led the women's suffrage movement with Elizabeth Cady Stanton, forming the National Women's Suffrage Association. Another great victory for women in government happened 22 years later when Hattie Wyatt Caraway was appointed as the first female senator. This was followed by labor rights activist Frances Perkins becoming the first female cabinet member, serving as the U.S. Secretary of Labor. Using her position, she fought for minimum wage, unemployment insurance, and to limit child labor. She pushed for humane policies like a queen. Next up is the woman who is truly a godsend for anyone who has used a computer or is a fan of computer science. Admiral Grace Hopper helped develop the first electronic computer in 1950 and insisted that computer programming languages be made in English rather than symbols. She successfully achieved this in 1959 when she worked on a team to develop COBOL, one of the first computer languages written in English. Moving into the 60s and 70s, we have the women's rights movement we know today, and many women who largely aided in securing the health and safety of our population. Rachel Carson sounded the alarm on a cancer-causing pesticide, DDT, securing an environmental victory. Then, discrimination in wages on the basis of sex was made illegal in the Equal Pay Act, and in the early 70s, Title IX was passed, banning sex-based discrimination in educational programs receiving federal funds, largely applying to colleges and universities, securing a social victory. Now, I'm sure most people have heard of this landmark Supreme Court case, in which abortion was considered part of a woman's privacy, striking down many abortion laws obstructing women. The court ruled 7-2 in Jane Roe's favor, Jane Roe being a pseudonym. This ruling was modified in Planned Parenthood versus Casey, when the court said abortion timelines would be based on fetal viability. Moving into the realm of science, you may have not heard the names of hidden heroes like Lydia Villa-Komarov, who invented methods for the production of insulin for diabetics, and Ellen Ochoa, who was the first Hispanic woman in space. These names may be slightly less known, but I'd argue that they paved the way for our most recent victory of a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris, our first female vice president, is a testament to how far we've come in terms of women's rights. We are very far from the days when wearing pants was rebellious. We've made progress, but are we there yet? Have we as a society achieved equality? The statistics show otherwise, and we still see the effects of harmful gender norms, though sometimes hidden at first glance. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2018, white women earned 79 cents to every dollar a man earned, with minority women earning even less. While the Family and Medical Leave Act dictates that new mothers may take up to 12 weeks off in the year, the average maternity leave in the U.S. is only 10 weeks long. Furthermore, while your job is protected, a paid leave is not. In fact, the United States is one of only a few countries worldwide where paid maternity leave is not obligatory. There is still a bias present in society around which professions are for men and for women. STEM careers are more often marketed to men, and more men than women are portrayed in the media as soldiers, laborers, and scientists. Clearly, we've got a long way to go, but our history shines a light on the hope for our future. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Comment below on where you think we as a society still need to grow in regards to women's rights. Also check out our last video on the pink tax.